What are you looking forward to as we're being set free a little bit now? What are you excited about doing and going?
So I live alone, so apart from a mental health bubble with my parents, I've not
Mm,
really done a great deal of interaction with the people. Done a couple of sitting out in the garden, but
yeah,
even when lockdown was loosened, I was still being careful because of my parents before they were jabbed. They've now
yeah,
both had the second jab, which is fantastic. So humans, just humans.
yes,
I've
yeah.
done two drama workshops, or theatre workshops
Hmm.
during the lockdown, and we did it socially distant in a big room with the windows open, all freezing to death.
Who is that with?
So that's Unsung Collective, which is the feminist theatre collective that I'm part of
Okay.
in Leeds. So we're coming up with ideas for when we can get back in theatres.
Mm.
So human beings and hugs and all of that kind of
Oh,
thing is.
you have to really concentrate and get yourself into a mindset of the character. And how do you do that?
I think it's one of the biggest skills of television writing that's particular to television writing, because
Hmm.
in every other genre you will create your own characters, but often you're coming on board and taking on, you're playing with other people's dolls basically. I think the thing that people who don't write for TV
Hmm.
sometimes don't comprehend is the number of drafts that you will go to. So
Yeah,
Midsummer Murders, we got up into 16 drafts. I mean, it's like writing a feature film because they're 90 minutes long,
yeah.
where
Oh,
whoever the killer was in the first draft was never the killer in the last draft. It
I
always
never
changed.
thought that.
So something like Discovery of Witches, it's 6 or 7 drafts, and
Mm,
everybody gets to chime in on it. So there's a draft where the director will give their notes. There's a draft
mm,
where the designers will say we haven't got the set for that, and
mm.
towards the end it becomes very practical. It's like we just can't fly to Poland. I say to students over and over again, the best dialogue are lies, and we do it all the time to each other. The more you like someone, so for example,
Mm.
if your best mate comes in and goes, what do you think of this dress, and she looks spectacular, you go, oh my god, it's the worst I've ever seen. And that's you're saying the opposite. And the most boring line of dialogue is I love you. So the classic
Mm.
Star Wars Harrison Ford saying I know. It doesn't mean that. It means something completely different. And
Yeah.
apparently it was improvised on the day as well, because he didn't want to say it to Carrie Fisher.
That's
But
quite funny.
that's really great dialogue when you don't go route one, you don't say the most
Yeah.
obvious thing. Really great, surprising dialogue with the twister scene.
Hmm.
I just love it. I just adore it. And it's when I read other people's scripts, it's the dialogue that
Mm.
clicks me in. The story can be fixed, dialogue can't.
I'm thinking about the younger writers in Leeds who maybe will read this article and take some interest in it, I hope. Would you have any top tips for the younger writers?
Yeah. Don't talk about writing, get it written. I talk to lots of new, and when I say new writers, that can be people who've come to it in their 40s and their 50s,
Hmm.
start of their career writers. There's not an age limit on it.
Hmm.
If you are going to lots of meetings and reading lots of books about writing, but not actually doing any writing, you're not a writer. If you are, whether it's an hour in the morning before you go to work, or you spend your entire weekend staring at that blank screen or whatever, if you are getting that done, then you're a writer. The only thing you need to be a writer, frankly, is a pen.
Hmm.
Just crack on. But also write that first draft freely. Don't have the audience sat on your shoulder. Don't have the script editor, the
Hmm.
producer. Don't think that Spielberg's going to read it.
Yeah.
Write. Just get the damn thing written. The only job of a first draft is to be written, and then the real writing comes with the rewriting. So get to the
Yeah.
end. Don't go back to the first page every time you open the document and
Yeah.
start, twiggling about with the first paragraph.
Get the chunk of
Keep
it
going.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then put it in a drawer for a couple of days. Pat yourself on the back, buy a nice bit of chocolate, whatever it is however you treat yourself, pour a whiskey, not if you're under 18.
Yeah.
And then come back to it, and you will see everything that's wrong with it that you won't be able to see while you're writing. You'll see some things that you love, but scenes that you thought were essential and brilliantly written and hilariously funny or
Yeah.
incredibly moving, you'll go, oh, well, that's terrible. And you'll take it out. And I do that all the time. I come back to work and go, what was I thinking? Oh my God. Who
Well,
wrote this?
it's a fresh pair of eyes.
It is.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you absorb what you've written and you've thought about it more. Yeah, I can see
And
that.
once it's up to, you know, I'm saying not before third or even fourth draft, get someone to read it for you, get it out there. And for new writers, if you are looking to make your career in it, there are more opportunities than ever to get your work seen. Make a TikTok video, put it on YouTube. When we're back to it, put it into a theatre showcase. Join Script Yorkshire, which are an amazing organisation who do regular script in hand performances of new work and are enormously supportive. And once you join, there are loads of free workshops you can take part in. But get yourself out there. Don't write a brilliant script and then put it in the drawer and be ashamed of it. Get it out there, because the more you do that, the more you'll build your reputation.